Oh, hi guys, I'm back again. If you're new to the channel, my name is Stefan. I've been sharpening for a few years now, and I run a small sharpening hassle on the side of my main job, which is teaching. If you're new to the channel, and if you already haven't, I'd love it if you subscribe and like the video. But I do love reading the comments. And I also do like my coffee, and I'm now on Buy Me a Coffee as well, so that's a great way to support the channel if you'd like. This time around, I'd like to focus a little bit more on the equipment rather than just the sharpening. And I thought we'd start with a knife. And the knife that we are going to be sharpening today is a Japanese Gyutoh. It's a very beautiful knife. This one in particular is made by Itsu Doi, which is a Japanese bladesmith. He has worked with IQ Japan Avenue. You can look them up. I'll leave a link to that down in the description. And I bought it through my good friend Yasuko Okumura, who works there. So this is a Gyutoh. It's 20 centimeters long, which I feel is a good size, and it's got the octagonal handle, which is just lovely. I like the feel of them, and I like the wood as well. Sorry. The Gyutoh is recognized by its pointy tip and the belly. A traditional European chef knife, you would see a rounder bevel, belly. I'm sorry, which will give you a lot more help with the rocking motions. This one is a little bit shallower on the bevel, which allows you to rock, and it's got a flatter part on the side here, which on a santoku you would see all the way, which will allow you to chop. So this one you can chop and you can rock, and it's just a good all-rounder knife. It's in Aogami number 2. So it's a carbon steel, blue number 2. It's also called, which is one of my favorite steels. So yeah, let's get that one to the side, and I'll just tuck it in here for a little bit. So let us talk a little bit about stones. I asked around a little bit about Shapton Pro. About questions and stuff, and Shapton does make very good stones. I got here the 120, 320, 1000, 2000, 5000, and 8000. Oh, sorry, great. And no, I'm not going to use all of them. Just going to do a selection, and I'm just going to try talk you through my thought process when I'm choosing. So Shapton is on the harder side, I feel. They give you a good feedback. They are, if you compare the 2000 grit Shapton Pro with a, say, Naniwa Chosera, well, I don't, do they come in 2000 grit? Oh, well, anyway, if you compare the Shapton Pro 1000 grit with the same grit and the Chosera line, you will get a finer result on the Chosera, the Chosera line than you will on the Shapton Pro. But the Shapton Pro will be faster. So my rule of thumb is when I go for Shapton Pro, I always go one step higher on the grit range than what I would do if I were working on, say, a Naniwa Chosera. So yeah, as for grit, I usually like to divide into coarse, medium, and fine. And with these stones, I would say the 120 and 320 grit are coarse, the 1000, 2000 would be medium, and 5000, 8000 would be fine. For softer steels, I prefer to go finish on 1000, 2000 grit, give you a toothier edge, and yeah, you don't have to go as fine as you can do. You will not get a noticeably better result necessarily. Today this knife isn't that dull, so the 120 grit is out of the question, because there's no structural work that needs to be done. I'm sorry if the fan going on behind me is coming through on the video. But hey, let's just try. This is one of my favorite stones for coursework, the 320. I really love the feedback on this one. The 120, it gets the job done. It just feels a little bit lifeless to me, almost like the knife's skating on the top of it. So this is a good, I feel, a good course stone. For the medium one, if I was finishing, I would probably just go for the 2001. Since we are just doing the bevel of the knife, we don't need all the stops along the grit range. We can just as fine go from a 320 to a 2000, no problems. But today I would think I would go for the 1000 grit as a medium stone, and I don't think I would need to go as high as 8000 grit. So this is how my grit progression for this particular job would look like. Yeah. So with that, I think it's about time we get onto the workbench. So just let me move my stuff around. Alright, so now I'm all set up. Got my stones here. I just took them out of the box, give them a little clean for the video's sake. They're not usually this clean. I got my stone holder, the knife. I used a rusty razor to clean the stone. That's just to get it done. Usually, sorry, I like these Naniwa's one, the Naniwa fixing stones. They come with the Chaucera. I think you can buy them separately as well. These guys need to be soaked. I hadn't done that, so I'll just put one down in the water just to leave it there until I'm done, so I can use that one to clean the stones. I got a small strop, a leather strop, which I made myself, and I have some compound on the top of it, just to help remove the burr once we are done. And a small towel. The tub I made myself. It's just some wood I put together to contain a plastic tub, and I got a sink bridge on top of it to just have a surface to work on. It took me an afternoon, and it's a great piece of kit. I really like it. For this knife, in general, I wouldn't need to use a 320 grit on this knife. It's in pretty good condition. I have this bit of kit that I can just run it over this the bevel, the edge, to check for nicks, and there are no nicks in this knife. So in general, I wouldn't need to use the 320, but I like to go a bit coarser than I have to, because it helps me establish an edge quickly and allows me to go on to the refinement of the edge sooner. Another advantage of the Shapton Pros are that they are not soaking stones. They are splash and go. So we just put water on it, and you can see it doesn't soak into the stone. It just stays on top, and that means that this stone is ready to go already. And I don't have to, plan ahead and spend time soaking stones, which in general isn't a problem for me. But if a customer comes in with a couple of knives and needs it done right now, I can do that if I see fit. So yeah, let's just get to it then, I guess. So I like to start on this side. Just light stroke, remembering that this knife isn't as dull. It won't need as much work on this coarse stone as a more damaged knife would. And what I do, I just sharpen until I feel the burr all the way from the tip to the bottom. So at this stage I can feel it all the way down here, and just at the heel there's nothing. So just be patient. So I'll work the heel a little bit. And no, still not. It's an area of the blade that's easy to forget. And on the other side, while feeling for the burr, I like to look for the size of the area that I've just sharpened. If there's a visible, well, if the angle is ish correct all the way down. So I think I'm happy with that. I don't have a burr at the very, let's see, at the very edge here, but I think that will sort itself out once I get to work on the other side as well. I don't want to work the knife too much. So now I flip it. And I just do easy strokes, and I pay a little bit extra time at the heel. And that is enough to flip the burr, including the heel, to the other side. So now I feel the burr on the heel on this side. So I flip the knife again, do an easy pass. The burr is flipped all the way down to the edge. At this stage the edge is set, the bevel is set, and it's ready to be refined. But I do a couple of full strokes to try and get the burr as even and as small as possible. And there we go. So I'm happy with that. So that would be it for the 320 grit. And obviously if this was a more damaged blade, I would have to spend more time with it, or even go to the 120 grit Shapton Pro. But now the structural work per se is finished, and we are just looking to refine the edge. The difficult thing about this part is that remembering that we are just refining what's already there. We're not trying to remove as much material, and it's hitting the same angle that you did with the other stone. And that's just something you feel a little bit experience, but you don't have to be exact with the angle. You will get decent results if you're ish in the same area. So I can feel already with just a full stroke I've managed to flip the burr. That could mean that my angle was too high, or that I was just smack on the same angle that I had, but I'll do this a few times. So now the edge is on the other side, the burr is on the other side, and now it's on this side. So that actually for me means that I would be done on this 1000 grit stone. But I will just work it back and forth a couple of times just to be completely sure. As I'm doing this, I'm trying to get the burr as small as possible. That's something you will feel on your fingers when you check for it. The smaller you get it, the easier it will be to remove at the last stage. So now we're ready for the last, or the second last, is it? Not the last step, but the step before that. The 5000 grit stone. And this is just more of the same than that with the, you can just feel. I really like, I tend to say that for Shapton Pro, or my stones in general, I like Shapton for the coarser stones, and I like Naniwas for the finer stones. But I gotta say that this 5000 grit stone just feels incredible. I just like the soft feel on it. And one thing that Shapton does very great is the feedback. there's just a perfect amount of friction between the stone and the knife. At this stage I'm hardly feeling the burr at all. If I were to create a big burr at this point, that would definitely mean that I'm working too high of an angle and that I would need to jump down a couple of steps to start over again. There is some grit on the stone. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll try to get that off so it doesn't affect the... Yeah, that's better. One guy in the comments on my post the other day mentioned that some of the Shapton stones can have almost like inclusions in them. It means it's almost like there's, you know, pieces of grit sticking up at certain places. One way to fix that is to flatten the stone again. You can use another stone, a coarser stone, just to work the surface on it. I'm just going to, I'll show you how. I'll just make sure I've got a good bite all the way. There's no, little bit there. Couple of more passes. Like so. I'm happy with that. So I'll just put the knife at the side there, and I do have a couple of diamond plates that I use. This is a worn down 400 grit Atoma diamond plate. This is excellent for working on stones, and just with water on the stone you would just work it down a bit. This will remove the imperfections in the surface. And let you get a little bit further down into the stone. So let's see if there's... Yeah, it's as smooth as butter. And yeah, so at this stage I just wipe off the knife. Let's do 2 tests. I have to test before. This is more like for myself. I try to get better at removing the burr on the stones. So at this stage, if I have a good edge, I'm happy. Let's see if we get that on. Yeah. So that's decent. Good edge all the way down. But anyway, I always like to strop at the edge, or at the end. And for me, when I started sharpening, this was the step that allowed me to have faith in myself, because I was never able to get a perfectly sharp knife while doing this by hand. But after stropping, that's how I was able to get my first really sharp knife. What this does, it helps you remove that piece of metal that's hanging off the edge, the burr. Let's see if we improved or if we ruined it. Yeah, that's just a lot better. So all in all, I'm happy with the result. The knife is sharper than what it was. Yeah. This was my first video in a while. I'll have I have restructured part of my schedule so I can do stuff that I like, and this is part of it. So hopefully I'll make more videos sooner, and I will start putting out posts asking for feedback on different types of stones. And if you guys want to see any particular stones, just let me know. I'll try to get a hold of them if I don't already have them. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.